Hey, good day to you. This is Stan Perchowski with Perchowski Estate Law, and this is the Ask Stan show every Thursday at 12 noon, where I answer all your estate planning questions submitted throughout the week. If you have a question about wills, trusts, Medicaid pre-planning, Medicaid crisis planning, the nursing home, or just estate planning in general, just send them to me here on Facebook or call me at 363-7222 or email me at perchowskiestatelaw@gmail.com. I'll answer them live on WKSR Radio, and we post them here on the Ask Stan show every Thursday. So, let's get right to it.
Revival with Fortunate Son. That is the Stan Perchowski oldie of the week, which you pick out. You pick them all out, do you not?
I do, and that was a good one. I love hearing that. It's a real toe tapper, you know. If you're feeling down, they start off with that guitar. Just kind of picks you right up, doesn't it?
It does, man. All right, sir. We'll let you continue with your segment this morning.
You know, you were mentioning about my seminar on WLX last week. It was. We got another one coming up, but this one's up in Murray County, the Memorial Building up there. They've got a room on the second floor called the Red Room. Doing that October the 27th. We're going to do it again like we always do, one at 1 o'clock and one at 6. So if you're interested in coming, don't mind driving up there, just come on, call our office and at 363-7222 and let us know. Give us, we'll put you on the RSVP list. And again, you said some folks come out and said they really enjoyed it. They learned something. It was very informative. And that's our goal. That's exactly why we do it. It's a free educational seminar to educate the public on what their choices are, what their options are. Then we can, further talk about the best options for individuals. So, but hey, I want to talk about subject today. I don't normally talk about. You hear me talk a lot about Medicaid, and I'll finish it up today's segment with just a little bit of that. But I don't often talk about Medicare because it's not so much something we do. I mean, we do elder law at Perchowski Estate Law, and Medicare is part of it. But you don't often need an attorney to do much with Medicare. Just sign up for it. There's different plans, but I do want to bring up something just to inform folks in case they don't realize it, and that is I get a couple of calls that asked if anything with Medicare was going to change because of the coronavirus pandemic, that sort of thing. And of course, they have their annual enrollment coming up here, October the 15th, when that's coming up. So that period is for people pretty much who already have Medicare. It's an opportunity for them to review their plan, maybe make any changes, that sort of thing. So that's coming up here October 15th. What's today, the 8th?
Today's the 8th.
Yeah, it's starting next week. You should have, if you've got Medicare, you might want to, this is an opportunity where you can switch between your, maybe the original Medicare, the Parts A and the Part B, or the Medicare Advantage plan. That's that Part C where you sort of keep a private plan. It's an opportunity to change those. You can change to a new Medicare Advantage plan if you want. And we can change your prescription drug coverage. That's that Part D. You can switch to a new plan if you want. You can drop some coverage or enroll in a new one for the first time if you want to. That open enrollment period is a great time to review your coverage, what your plan covers in that. If you've got the Medicare Advantage plan or the Part D, again, that's a good time to give that some review, perhaps enroll in something different if it doesn't suit your needs. It begins October 15th, and it's designed for the people to make changes for the year 2021. So anyway, you can always go to Medicare.gov, and it gives you a lot of information on that. But the question that was asked: what changes are made for 2021 because of the coronavirus? And there were several, not too many. Most of them had to deal with time frames. Basically, what they established what they call SEPs, which are special enrollment periods, and they did those for exceptional circumstances. If you had like an employee-covered Medicaid or employee-covered Medicare, and because of the coronavirus, you lost that. You've got a couple of months to a special enrollment period to enroll to pick up the slack if your employer, if you lost your coverage through the employer. There's another one if you contracted the coronavirus. When you apply for Medicare. You have to do it 3 months before the month of your birth and 3 months after. You've got this 7-month window. If you contracted coronavirus and maybe you had to go to a skilled nursing facility or something to recover, there's a special enrollment plan for that to let you, so you don't get penalized. Because if you don't apply in the window that you're supposed to apply for, you have to pay a penalty period or a penalty fee. And they also did some changes to the electronic enrollment process to give a little more flexibility to the electronic signatures and let you do certain things online. So if you're thinking about doing something, in this annual enrollment period, one of the things you need to do is just kind of look over a few things, a couple suggestions that you might want to look at. Analyze your costs. Understand what you spent on healthcare this last year. See what you can. If you spend too much, think about how much your plan does cost. Does it include monthly premiums, or have they increased, or have the out-of-pocket expenses increased? Ask yourself a couple questions like these. Was there a drug or a service that you kind of needed, but the plan didn't cover? So you might want to look and see if you can get a plan that covers that, because things change, all the time. Is there a doctor you'd like to see who doesn't accept that plan right now? Does your current plan A or B or supplement plan, does it continue to meet what your needs are? You get this period every year to make changes to see if it'll cover. So, review your plans. Now it's time to make changes. You should have got a letter. It's called the Annual Notice of Change letter. You should have got that in September, and it tells you what changes. Have the premiums gone up? Have your co-pays changed? Are they dropping any of the important medications? Review that letter that you should have gotten in September, and don't miss this period, April 15th, and don't confuse it with the January 1st to March 31st enrollment period. This is the annual enrollment period. That is the special enrollment period for other things. So anyway, that's Medicare. Like I said, we don't talk about that much, but if it's something you need to review, now's the time to do it. But also, whenever you're thinking about Medicare or changing something or trying to figure out what coverage you have, this is where you need to remember that Medicare and Medicaid are not the same thing. I often say that there's only 2 letters of the alphabet difference, but they are way different on what they do, and even more different on what they'll pay for. And, we're going to have, millions of people have to apply for Medicaid. Now, the big difference between the two is Medicaid does not pay for long-term care. Now, when I say long-term care, you've heard me say it before. I'm talking about long-term care. I'm not talking about the short-term that Medicare will pay for. Here's the way that works. Medicare will pay 20 days in a nursing home, but it's mostly for a rehabilitative purpose. So like you fall down and break your hip, or you get a new hip, or something where you're discharged from the hospital, they send you to the nursing home to rehabilitate. For the first 20 days, you're in a nursing home, but for the first 20 days, they'll pay 100% of that. Now, you can get that expanded to 100 days, where you'll pay 20% and Medicare will pay the other 80%. But it absolutely, positively, and under no circumstances will pay past day 100. So when I talk about long-term care, I'm talking about something beyond the 3 months and 10 days of the 100 days that Medicare will pay for. I'm talking about long-term care in a skilled facility, long-term care in assisted living, that sort of thing. And Medicare will not pay one dime towards that. The only thing we have in our system to pay for that long-term care is Medicaid. And that's where, that's what we do at the Pachowski State Law with our elder law, and we do Medicaid planning, which is, comes in 2 forms. We do pre-planning and we do crisis planning. Pre-planning is when, like right now you're thinking, okay, I'm maybe 65, or I'm, reviewing my Medicare plan, and I'm pretty healthy. I'm not in the nursing home yet. My spouse and I are not knocking on the door of the nursing home. Now's the time to pre-plan, because we can title your assets in a way that, when Medicaid, pays for this, when they want to recover their costs during the Medicaid recovery, State Recovery Act, we can shield assets, from that. Crisis planning is just a little different. That's when somebody already is in the nursing home or in long-term care. And if they're already in it, now we have to. There's other planning we can do, but again, we can still shield a lot of assets. Just depends on the circumstances. That's what we do. So those are questions I get asked all the time about Medicaid. We excel at that. That's what we do. We do a lot of it. So if any of those things come up, just give us a call. We'll talk about it. If you're in the pre-planning age and health bracket, I cannot stress how much important I think it is for you to pre-plan. It's always better to do things in advance than it is to wait till it's too late. Fortunately, when it is too late, we can still do some. We can do quite a bit, as a matter of fact. But it's always better to do it when we have a little bit of time built in, so that we can navigate around the government time periods that they've imposed. And who knows, in 26 or 27 days, after this election, those time periods are likely to change. I don't know. I haven't got a crystal ball, but that's what I'm preparing for, because I expect it to happen. But we'll see. But if you got any of those thoughts, give us a call. We'll do some Medicaid planning for you. We'll shield some assets. We'll protect them from the estate recovery. I mean, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's all that we do. We do it every day. So estate planning, trust writing, Medicaid planning, that sort of thing. Give us a call at 363-7222. We're right over there on the southeast side of the square. And we've got that seminar coming up. I'm not sure when the next one in Pulaski will be. It might not be till the first of the year because with the holidays coming up. But we're doing one up in Columbia at the Art Memorial Building right off the square.
Okay.
Give me a call, and we're doing that on the 27th. If you want to attend that, just drive on up and give us a call and let us know you're going to be there, and we'll have a seat for you.
All right. Good information. Stan Perchowski Estate Law. You get it on your shirt right there where I can read it.
I do. My wife does that for me. She gets me shirts and gets that embroidered on.
Well, she does a good job with that. She certainly does. Thank you, Stan. Always a pleasure. We will see you next Thursday morning at 8:30 once again.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right.